U.S. President Donald Trump announced a trade agreement with Vietnam on July 2nd, days before the 90-day tariff deadline. Trump confirmed a 20% tariff on many Vietnamese goods into the U.S. and a 40% levy for transshipping of goods from China. The Trump administration raised concern about transshipment, where Chinese goods, such as apparel and electronics, are shipped to Vietnam, relabeled and repackaged, with minimal processing to appear as if they were made in Vietnam. This allows China to bypass U.S. tariffs. U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick said during the Senate Appropriations Committee hearing in June that the administration would not agree to a zero-for-zero tariff agreement with Vietnam due to China's significant involvement in the Vietnamese market. Lutnick explained that Vietnam exports $125 billion to the U.S., buys $90 billion from China, marks up the goods and sells them to the U.S., adding that, "It's just a pathway for China to us." The U.S. exports significantly less goods to Vietnam at $13.1 billion, and has a trade deficit with Vietnam of $123.5 billion in 2024. Vietnam has attempted to curb the illegal transshipment of goods to the U.S. by digitizing and centralizing the issuance of certificates of origin. However, Vietnam's exports to the U.S. continued to increase. Exports were up by 14% in May, compared to the same period last year. ING economist Dipali Bhargava said Vietnam's efforts to curb transshipment from China could be falling short. Bhargava suggested limited value add by Vietnam on the Chinese goods, given the weakness in the domestic manufacturing sector, yet export growth was robust. S&P Global Manufacturing PMI for Vietnam fell to 48.9 in June 2025, from 49.8 in May, marking the third consecutive month of contraction. PMI index less than 50 indicates contraction. About 48% of China's total exports to Vietnam were machinery and electrical equipment last year, while exports of these goods to the U.S. was around 41%. Bhargava said, "Some of this change could be attributed to Vietnam's own domestic demand, but the rapid surge on both ends suggests significant transshipment activity."